I recently did an upgrade to the Workmate 200. As you see, I added two new tops here made out of 2x12 wood. And I did another upgrade here that I'm going to talk about right now. Hey, my name is Kenny. I own Robinson Handy and Technology Services based in Montgomery, Alabama. And today I'm talking about one of the upgrades that I made to the Black and Decker Workmate 200 that I have. Yes, it's not the 225, it is the 200. And you're probably thinking, they made a 200? Yes, this Workmate bench is, I'm gonna say, at least a good 30 to 35 years old. My dad had it when I was a kid, and eventually he was like, "Yeah, take it." So I got it. And I made some upgrades to it. I sent him one of the photos of where I upgraded the top, and he was like, "Nice, should give you another 20 years out of it." So I'm gonna show you another upgrade that I made. All right, I was watching YouTube videos and of other people that had like a Workmate 225 or a Workmate 400 something, whatever. But I saw that some of the people put in a shelf in the bottom here. So I was like, hey, I could probably do that on mine. And so as you see, I added in a piece of plywood here. This is, I think, a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch sheet of plywood. It was something I had sitting in a scrap pile. And then I secured it. There's one screw here, and then there's another one right there. And these are metal screws, by the way. And so I secured it down, and just to make sure that it doesn't come up. And it has a little bit of play on the ends here, but 2 screws were sufficient for it. And basically, when you are working with it, it'll now allow me to, instead of put my tools on the ground, I can just stick them underneath. If I have, let's say, a bottle of glue and I'm working on the workbench and then I need to stick it down there for additional brief storage or something like that nature, it gives you that full shelf to be able to put stuff there and not necessarily put them on the ground. There are circumstances where, like, I may be working in a grass setting or a concrete setting, or it's wet, because sometimes you are working outside when you're doing handyman tasks, and so, or early in the morning where the ground is still wet, and you don't necessarily want to put your stuff directly on the ground because it may short or whatever the case. So by having that shelf there, it allows me to basically serve as additional storage space. You're probably asking, does that shelf get in the way of you when you collapse it? And the answer is no, it doesn't. Let me show you. And as you see, the Workmate is collapsed down and the shelf is still there in place, not having to move it. And even if I fold it up here, I'm not going to close the legs, but as you see, even if I were to close the legs, it would not interfere with the shelf being there. And so thus it works regardless. Now, I will probably add a polyurethane or some sort of paint on top of it to protect it a little bit. I don't foresee it getting damaged significantly. Worst case scenario, I take the screws out and replace it with another piece of wood and be good to go again with another shelf. All right, that concludes this video. I have another video that'll also be talking about another upgrade I'm going to make to the Workmate 200. If you have questions or comments, feel free to drop those below. Also, check out my website, rhtservices.net. Last but not least, check me out on Facebook and Instagram. Excuse me. Facebook and Instagram, RHT Services LLC. Talk to you next time.